Lights fade in on a polished black marble floor, reflecting the towering Marvel logo. A cold gust of air sweeps through the empty hallway of a Hollywood studio, carrying the faint echo of reporters shouting questions that no one wants to answer. The Avengers franchise, once an unstoppable cinematic empire, now stands in a tense, uncertain silence, its legacy quivering at the edge of chaos. The camera pans slowly toward a door labeled Confidential Franchise Summit. Inside, everything is unraveling. The first whisper of trouble began 2 months earlier during a table read. The cast, exhausted from years of press tours, training, secrecy, and impossible expectations, gathered around a massive oak table stacked with scripts. Everyone expected another safe, predictable Marvel meeting, but that didn't happen. The tension started when the new director, young, brilliant, brutally honest, entered with a script rewrite that would flip the entire universe upside down. He dropped the pages on the table, looked each actor in the eyes, and said, "The Avengers must change. Hollywood must change. And I'm not afraid of the fallout." Some cast members exchanged glances, thrilled. Some froze, fearing what this meant for contracts, image, legacy. One actor leaned back, arms crossed, calculating how this shift could either resurrect or ruin their entire career. Word spread like wildfire. The franchise was going darker, more raw, more personal. The heroes would be broken, flawed, conflicted, exposed. Their characters would face decisions that didn't fit the clean-cut image the studio had been polishing for a decade. Agents panicked. Executives panicked harder. Within a week, journalists caught wind of creative disagreements, the phrase Hollywood uses when chaos is too messy to explain. Paparazzi swarmed outside hotels, desperate for a crack in the Avengers facade. Every cast member was hunted for quotes. One misinterpreted eyebrow raise became a trending headline. When a producer was spotted leaving a restaurant with a rival studio's executive, tabloids exploded with rumors of franchise betrayal. Inside the studio, the drama boiled. Meetings turned into arguments turned into shouting matches. One producer slammed a script onto a table so hard the pages scattered like confetti. "We built the biggest franchise in the world," he yelled. "We are not throwing it away because you suddenly want to make Shakespeare with lasers." But the director didn't fold. He pushed for a story about consequences, not just explosions. A story about fame devouring heroes from the inside. He wanted the Avengers universe to reflect Hollywood itself. Glamorous on the surface, fractured underneath, he challenged every actor to dig deeper. Some rose to it with fire in their eyes. Others felt exposed, vulnerable, threatened. Meanwhile, social media erupted with fan theories. Leaks hinted at on-set rivalries, feuds between actors, jealousy over screen time, and disputes over whose character deserved the most powerful storyline. The fandom split into groups defending their favorites. Hashtags turned into battlegrounds. Every public appearance felt staged, stiff, rehearsed, because each cast member was terrified of saying something that could ignite another firestorm. The pressure mounted until one night, during a late shoot on a massive green screen stage. A scene required 2 lead actors, who hadn't spoken off camera in weeks, to confront each other emotionally. Cameras rolled. Studio's executives watched nervously behind screens. The tension in the air was heavy enough to choke on. When the camera clapped, something cracked open inside both performers. They unleashed raw, real emotion, anger that wasn't in the script, frustration from months of stress, exhaustion from being locked into roles that the world demanded perfection from. The director didn't yell, "Cut." He let it burn. When the scene ended, a haunting silence consumed the set. Everyone realized they had just witnessed something extraordinary. Word of the scene reached executives who panicked. "They can't look that broken," one said. "They're superheroes." But the director fired back. "That's exactly why they must." The studio tried controlling the narrative with pre-written interviews, polished PR statements, carefully staged public appearances. But the internet is not so easily fooled. Leaked footage, grainy, shaky, clearly recorded by someone who shouldn't have been on set, showed cast members arguing. Fans dissected every frame. Rumors doubled, then tripled. The Avengers are falling apart. The franchise is doomed. Marvel is panicking. Meanwhile, on set, something strange happened. The chaos brought the cast closer. Quiet conversations replaced arguments. Late-night rehearsals became group therapy. One actor confessed, "I don't even know who I am outside this character anymore." Another replied, "Maybe that's the story we need to tell." The director watched from the shadows. Knowing the cracks were becoming gold like kintsugi, the Japanese art of repairing broken pottery with precious metal. Hollywood reporters smelled blood. They camped outside the studio gates. Every time a cast member arrived, cameras flashed like lightning. When one actor slipped and admitted they weren't too sure about the direction of the film, the quote went viral within minutes. Fans panicked again. Studio stock dipped. Competing studios circled like sharks, hoping Marvel would crumble so they could swoop in. Inside the studio, executives held an emergency meeting. Some wanted the director fired, others insisted his vision was revolutionary. Agents demanded answers. Lawyers whispered about exit clauses. The cast sat silently as producers argued over their careers like chess pieces. Then one actor, exhausted, fed up, done with the politics, stood and said, "Let us finish the story. Let us show the world what happens when heroes break. That's the truth. That's the movie." Something shifted. The room went silent. Slowly, executives realized the truth. Audiences weren't tired of superheroes. They were tired of perfect superheroes. Filming resumed with new fire. The cast poured everything into their scenes: anger, heartbreak, fear, hope. Long nights turned into sunrises. The director pushed them, but gently now, with trust instead of pressure. One by one, the cast rediscovered why they joined the franchise in the first place. Not for fame, not for merchandise, not for billion-dollar box offices, but to tell stories that mattered. Eventually, the filming wrapped. The final scene shot at dawn on an empty beach left the cast in tears. Not scripted tears. Real ones. They hugged each other. The kind of hug born from surviving a storm together. The director closed his eyes and whispered, "We made something honest." But Hollywood wasn't done yet. At the premiere, the red carpet felt like a pressure cooker. Journalists shouted questions about feuds, leaks, breakdowns, scandals. But when the cast walked together, unified, tired but proud, the noise softened. Inside the theater, the audience watched in stunned silence. The film was unlike any Avengers story before: raw, emotional, unfiltered. Heroes broke. Heroes healed. Heroes reflected the humans who played them. When the lights came up, the applause didn't end. The internet, previously a battlefield, shifted overnight. Fans praised the vulnerability. Critics called it the boldest superhero film ever made. Executives who once doubted the project now pretended they always supported it. The cast felt something rare in Hollywood: relief, satisfaction, truth. Outside, cameras flashed again. But this time, when reporters shouted, "What happened behind the scenes?" the cast simply smiled. Because some stories aren't for Hollywood. Some stories belong only to those who live them. The Avengers were not destroyed by drama, they were reborn through it. And somewhere deep in a studio office, the director placed the original rejected script, the safe one, the predictable one, inside a drawer, locked it and whispered, "That movie was never meant to be. Fade out."